Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It all depends on the time and from where you are watching me. My name is Dr. Omomilawal, and I bring you greetings. I'm in the state of United States of America, a state called Maryland. My fellow Nigerians, I want you to listen. Move closer and listen attentively to me. If you're Yoruba, I know you speak English. It could be pidgin. It is okay. If you are from other extractions, that is the Igbo, the Fulani, the Hausa, the Edo, the Akwa Ibom, I know you speak English, because that's the only medium of expression that we have among ourselves. I'm coming to you today not to come and rant, not to come and abuse, but I wanted to speak to your souls, all of us that are still embedded under the contraption, under the amalgamated space we call Nigeria. My fellow Nigerians, I want you to listen to me. I haven't come here to be noticed. I haven't come here for validation. But I'm pleading that somehow, by the time I'm done with this message, you will have feasted on one or two important messages that I'm trying to pass across. Yes, I'm an indigene of the Yoruba ethnic group. I'm a Yoruba girl, indigenous. My parents are from Lagos Island, and I love Lagos. But I also love everyone living in Lagos, and probably I would say I love Nigerians, as we call ourselves. But today, or I would say in the last 15 years, I have to be honest with us. I've been honest with myself, but I have to be honest with all of you too, that I don't think that word Nigeria is holding all of us the way it should, the way a country should hold its citizens, the way a country should embrace its citizens, the way a country should support, should progress any of its citizens. And right now, I know I'm going to receive a lot of flanks from a lot of people. Oh, she's a bigot. She's preaching tribalism. But I tell you that even in the Bible, because I'm a Christian, although I was born in a Muslim home, I am a Christian by conversion, by conviction. So let me tell you, when some of us say, oh, we can live together, yes, we can live together if we're in peace. If we are in one accord, we understand that the rule of law has to play. If you all understand that we have to respect each other, not stepping on other people's toes, or not proving that you are greater, better, higher, mightier than the next person. Even when the person you are trying to be greater or smarter than is from your own extraction. Because we have among our Yorubas, our so-called elders, leaders, politicians, the millionaires, thinking that they owned Nigeria or they own the world. And they're bestriding our world like a colossus. A lot of Yoruba elders, rich politicians, are stepping on our necks. They have become an albatross around our necks. And they're telling us we are not going anywhere. We are not going further. It's not going to be better for us. It is where we are that they want us to be, and to be there for the rest of our lives. My fellow Nigerians, This is not our country. If a country wants to be great, you need to be good. As I know it today, Nigeria is no longer a good country. As a matter of fact, Nigeria is not a nation. Except we are all lying to ourselves. Some of us have gone through the corridors of the wall of the classrooms in all spheres of life. I've been in America for more than 40 years. I've come to Nigeria to work in the bank. I have listened, I have read, and I know that the only two things that can make people work together is absent in the Nigerian sphere. We have no understanding, either by love or by language. We don't. And we don't have what it takes as a people to accommodate one another. If these two elements stand to be true, of which I know it is true, why then are we forcing this so-called Nigerianism? How can this relationship work when an Igbo man would declare that he's going to take what belongs to another person? Or a Fulani man who is absolutely a stranger in that country? Because a lot of them, whether you believe it or not, I know you don't want to hear the truth. Majority of those that call themselves Nigerians, that are Fulanis, they're not indigenous to Nigeria. A lot of them are from Mauritania. Hakim Baba Ahmed is from Mauritania. Abasha was from Niger. Buhari's mother was a Kanuri and his father from Niger. That's why he has spent massively to build a bridge, a road from Nigeria to Niger. He wasn't from Nigeria. His mother, I understood, was from Kanuri. What about the rest of them? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was not originally from Nigeria. He came from Cameroon. Now has become a Nigerian presidential aspirant. In any civilized country, yes, you might gain citizenship. I am a citizen of the United States of America, but I could never become a president. Probably the best I could be, or the greatest I could be, would be governor. They do not allow, that's part of their policy. They do not allow outsiders that have naturalized to become the president of their country. But in Nigeria, every Tom, Duke, and Harry will become a president. Because we are passive, we are permissive, we are not sensitive to those that we call the indigenous, and we don't really care about one another. We are all about show of power. But power without integrity, it won't land us anywhere. Power without equity, it will only get us into more trouble. Power without fairness and power without authority. There have been misuse of power all over that country. From the Yoruba extraction, from the Igbo extraction, from Fulani, all over. Everybody is just doing whatever pleases him or her. That's not how to run a country. I have been in America for over 4 decades. It is not a perfect country by all means. But there is order. There is no order in Nigeria. There is no order in Nigeria. At least in the last 10 years. When I left Nigeria in 1977, I only wanted to spend 4 years to get my first degree and to come home and start doing what I need to do. But the trajectory of my life demanded that I stay behind, get my master's before I came home in 1986. And when I came home, I was so determined. At the time I was in America, my ex-husband was still here, but I so much love this country called Nigeria that I couldn't wait to take my 2-year-old son at that time to come home, because I was full of passion, zeal to come and exhibit my skills, the talent God has given me. And I was enthusiastic that it's going to be better than what I had in America at that time. I came home. From day one, I encountered quite a lot of hassle, trouble, chaos. But I was telling myself, it's my country. Yeah, I can endure. I have the fortitude. I have the belief, the hope that yes, this country will thrive. And I stayed. If I tell you that I was happy and pleased, I'll be lying to you. I struggled. Giving my best was not good enough. Because with a master's degree in finance and urban management, I did not become a manager in First Bank of Nigeria. I came with a master's degree. Myself and another guy, if I can remember his name, I'll let you know. We were the best students in the Department of Public Affairs at Texas Southern University in Houston. Texas Southern University. That was where I obtained my master's degree in public administration. Yes, Mr. Akim Bakrin. If he's alive today, he will know. He will probably remember me because he calls me a foucheton aniwura. A foucheton. And there is a purpose for him calling me that name. But that's a story for another day. We were the best 2 students in that semester that were given the best performance award. Bakrin is a Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba woman. And I'm not saying that other Nigerians were not there, but we were the best 2 students because we graduated with honors. Summa cum laude, with honors. Akim Bakrin. I understood that he was once a director of waterworks. I'm still here for a reason, for a purpose. Though that being said, when I was in my first alma mater, that was in Texas also. We call it UTEP, University of Texas at El Paso. In that university, there are less than 20 Nigerians, but they knew every one of us. Why? Because we are exemplary. Yes, I know we have 2 Igbo guys that I knew there, one a lady and another one a man. But everybody, and I will not lie, everybody knows that Nigerians are thriving. We are excellent, we are good, and we have good behavior. We weren't making scandals of any kind. We are not 419ers. There were no 419ers among us. We were ready to lift that name, and we are proud. As a matter of fact, my stepsister and I were the international students, president and secretary. Everybody knew who I was in that school. When you come, the international school department will tell them to go and see Sekirat, because that was my my first name as a Muslim. And I will tell them which English teacher will favor them equitably, the one that will not discriminate against them. I will tell them the chemistry teacher they should take and not the rest of that. And everybody knew me. They didn't know me as a braggart, as an idiot, but as a true African and as a true Nigerian, because I was doing the best. And there were times, even when I didn't count it important, when I was being invited to come to Washington, D.C., to come and meet my peers to discuss about political issues. But I wasn't interested at that time. I'm still not interested now. But in view of what is going down in that space called Nigeria, it's now contracted. My fellow Nigerians, we are not taught history in that country. Either as a Yoruba person, you probably don't know so much about your heritage, your ancestral issues, triumphs, victories. If you're an Igbo, you knew barely who your people are. The Fulani knew who they were. They knew they were from Nigeria. But they knew that their grandfather, their great-grandfather, Uthman Danfodio, who came in 1809, 1806, came to the north to conquer the Hausas. And they did it with violence. The onslaught was massive. And we're still reaping the implications, the consequences of our leaders being lackadaisical, being permissive, and being uncaring. Because when the Fulani came and they were killing the houses, nobody raised an eyebrow to help them, to support them, and send away these marauders, these encroachers, these violent, decadent Fulanis. I'm minding my choice of words. If those words are too strong, go to your dictionary and look at the meaning. And trace back in the last 10 years, how many Nigerians, this Fulani cabals, this Fulani Mayeti, this Fulani Boko Harams, they didn't call them Igbos. They're not Yorubas. They are Fulanis. And we're all genuflexing, saying that we don't know where they come from. Of course, we knew where they come from. One of the leaders that is not supposed to even be a leader in Nigeria, Buhari, brought this Boko Haram with the help of our own indigenous Yoruba supposed leader, Mr. T.P. President Bola Tinubu Ahmed. He said it with his own mouth. He wanted to help Buhari succeed after the third failed trial at the presidential bid. And he did. He helped. I understood that he spent over 35 billion to bring in an inept, incompetent, imbecilic, uneducated, functional, illiterate ex-president Muhammadu Buhari to power. An idiot, if I can use that term. A moron, yes, it's a soldier, a bold man, but was an idiot, an imbecile, more or less a non-entity. That is who Bola Ahmed, a half-baked, educated man himself, brought into power. And in the last 10 years, you can all see the aftermath of Buhari and presently what is going on in Nigeria. Look at what is happening. You are all saying we can accommodate who? Fulani to keep on genocidally killing all of us. Because whether you believe it or not, what is happening in Benue, in Jos, in Ondo State, in Ogun State is nothing short of genocide. And we say we have leaders. Who are the leaders? Please point to me who our leaders are. Is it Babaka Lawal? Is it Garuba Shehu Lawal or whoever they call themselves? Is it Ango Abdullahi? Is it Wike, in some Wike? Is it Akpabio? And is it Mesa Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president? Is that the person you can call a leader? A leader that is pushing almost 250 million people to the precipice. And with a push, allow everybody to fall down to destruction. Is that a leader? Is Yaya Bello, an ex-governor of Kogi, a leader? A leader who looked around and thought stealing 100 million, 100 billion, 100 million, whatever it is, even 100 naira, stealing money belonging to the public is his right. And we have no rule of law to take charge of it. And we say we have a country. Is that what a country is supposed to be? Are we living according to the rule of law in Nigeria? And you elders, whether you are son, Baba Fe, Baba Lola, you are a son. Femi Falana, you are a son. Lawyer Agbakoba, you are a son. So many of you are there that you call yourself lawyers. And you have forgotten. Because as a lawyer, you're supposed to keep yourself updated about events not only in Nigeria but all over the world. In case you have clients who have issue with international situation. You have all forgotten that the so-called amalgamation, the amalgamation that tied the southern with the northern, expired in year 2014 because it was enacted in year 1914. And for you lawyers that are supposed to be educated, you know that a treaty lasts for 100 years. Where were you in 2013? Telling the government of the day, writing the British that joined the North and the South, that amalgamated the North and the South. Did any one of you raise an eyebrow? Did any one of you wrote a bill to be passed into law that we can have a referendum and see whether we still want to be one Nigeria? None of you did that. And now the so-called amalgamation has already gone over by 11 years. January 2025, the amalgamation was 111 years old. And yet, you are all still calling yourselves Nigerians. Is Nigeria a country? Do you people know what a country is? Because you call yourself educated people. A country that does not have an homogeneous language. What is our language in Nigeria? Who is a Nigerian by your definition? Do we have the same culture? Of course, no. The Yoruba people do not have the same traditions, cultures, ethos, philosophical mindset, even economical mindset with the Igbos, with the Fulanis, with the Hausas. And yet, we're tied together with a 3-knot string, rope. Look at what is happening. A country that is good will be great. Nigeria is no longer good. And that's why you cannot call us a great country. Yes, 1 or 2 extractions may be doing well. Yorubas are doing extremely well, but not in Nigeria, outside the shore of Nigeria. There's no country that you will go to that will not speak of the Yorubas. There are no countries you will go to that they will not speak of the Igbos. And in some cases, when they speak of us, it's not in very good terms. But say some of we Nigerians, but they have never said Yorubas are thieves. Igbos are this or that. They say Nigerians. Nigerians are this. Ghana is asking the Igbos to leave because of their attitude and characteristics. South Africans are killing Nigerians. And they do mention, oh, Igbos have taken over. Even in the United States of America, they say Nigerians have taken over their jobs and this and that. But when I look at the overall trajectory of this issue, you will realize that the Fulanis are not here. It is we, the Igbos and the Yorubas, and probably the other ethnic groups. The Akwa Iboms, at least if I don't know anyone, I know one Dr. Akwa Ofyong. He's a medical doctor. He's from Akwa Ibom. From the same place where Akpabio, alleged thief, I'll call him that, he's a thief. And the person that rigged the election for him is in jail. But Honorable President, Speaker of the Senate is sitting tight when he should be behind bars. That means there's no rule of law. There's no equity. There's no fairness. There's no justice. And a country where there's no fairness, where there's no justice, equity, the country will not thrive. It will not flourish. It will not succeed. There will be no peace. Let me tell you, there's a lot that the truth will do in a country. It elevates a country. It brings peace to a country. But is there any truth in Nigeria? Let me not go too deep. In the last 2 weeks, look at what is happening in that space called Nigeria. On July 13th, they announced that Muhammad Buhari died in a London clinic. Is that the truth? Of course not. President Bola Tinubu asked his vice president, the same vice president who we all know is a patron of Boko Haram, allegedly, and probably Femi Gbajabiamila or Akpabio, to go and retrieve the body. They don't have to do that, because it doesn't make economic sense. If we have an embassy, the embassy could collect the body of the president and follow it down to Nigeria. But President Bola Tinubu, prodigal man, prodigal president, an ineptitude behavior from him. He wastes money like he drinks water. He's a wasteful man. An impudent man. He has no respect for money or finance. And he was supposed to be an accountant. It's a shame. And I'm saying it globally now. I'm ashamed that we are producing a president from the Yoruba ethnic group, and it is Tinubu we are producing. It is a shame, a darn shame, and I'm not so proud at this point to call him my president. It's a disgrace. Tinubu spends money like there is no tomorrow. Tinubu have no fear of God with the way and the characteristics it displays. This is a man that knew that Buhari died as far back as year 2017. Nnamdi Kanu espoused this several years ago, that Buhari was dead as far back as 2017. Nobody listened. They distracted the entire populace. And when it was brought out that he died in July 13, Aisha Buhari came out on her Instagram platform to say that was not her husband. In fact, before now, Aisha Buhari had exiled herself, personal exile, into Dubai because of the replica, because of the man, Jubril something or somebody that they brought from Sudan. The body replica. But everybody knew, because a lot of us suspected that this person is not Buhari. Whatever plastic or artificial face they gave him to cover his face, we can see some imperfection around the hairline. We can see some imperfection about the youngness of the face. So only an idiot will look at that Sudanese man and acclaim that that was Buhari. Now that being said, we have over 1 million lawyers in Nigeria. Igbo lawyers, Yoruba lawyers, where are you? SAN. Are you just self-aggrandized nuisances? Are you self-acclaimed non-entities? Or you are actually senior advocate of Nigeria? If you are, by now, Pastor Dr. Yemi Osinbajo should be with the SSS, should be with the DSS, should be with the police. He should be answering questions. He cannot say that he did not recognize that between 2017 and 2023, the man he was vice presidenting for was not Buhari. Vice President or ex-vice president Yemi Osinbajo is an intellectual, an educated elite, a lawyer, a pastor, and he remained quiet. That means it's a necessary. Maybe not before, but after the fact, he is an accessory. As a matter of fact, that attitude is treasonable. He should be behind bars. But where is he now? Coming out to explain jargon nonsense. Femi Adesina, Buhari's assistant, personal assistant. Does he want to tell us that he didn't know that the man that he was assisting for was not Buhari? So where is Femi Adesina now? He has the audacity, the temerity to come out and start eulogizing the fake death of Buhari. And we call these people leaders. You call these people citizens. What kind of nationalistic disgrace is that? And now coming to the Shehu Garba lying about rats invading the Aso Rock to deflect, to distract sensible Nigerians who should have been asking tons, gazillion questions. But I don't expect anything better. I'm sorry to say that. What do you expect? It's a Fulani man. Of course he will be behind any charade, any antics, any plots to keep themselves in power. But the dirtiest slap on our faces, the dirtiest, the ignoble slaps on our faces was from our own Yoruba man, Mr. Bola Tinubu, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You're a disgrace to Yoruba race. I don't care what anybody says. You are a disgrace to the Yoruba race. That is if your father is a Yoruba man. At least everybody says that your mom, your mother, was from Irabiji in Osun State. And yet you are not a true son of Osun State. Because you're always bragging you have more money than the state. The money that you stole. Yes, you're all disgusting individuals. But worse than that, you are decadent. Spiritually, you are dead. Otherwise, you are wicked. Wicked to the bones. And the blood of innocent Nigerians, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that has happened on your watch, will begin to cry foul against you. I repeat, the blood of innocent Nigerians, Yorubas, Igbos, and other extractions that have been promoted to the ground untimely will begin to cry over you until God answers. And I know God will answer. My fellow Nigerians, if you say we are the same, we are lying to one another. Even in the Holy Bible, God warned King Solomon, the wisest king of all time, not to marry from certain extraction. Even in that area. God said, don't marry the Philistines, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the this and the that. You think God didn't know what he was talking about? God knew they're not the same. God knew that when you meet, you fellowship and marry one another, there's going to be turbulence at the end of the day. Solomon did not hear. Oh. King Solomon, the son of King David, did not hear. And he ended up marrying all kinds of people that God warned him against. He regretted it. And my fellow Nigerians, until we come to our senses and accept that the Igbos are not the same as the Yorubas, that the Yorubas are not the same as the Fulanis and the Hausas, we are going to live in calamity and chaos. Except we are lying to ourselves. The only peace we will know is the peace of the graveyard. There is no peace in Nigeria. And I'm not prophesying there can be peace where there is no equity, where there is no fairness, where there is no justice, where there is no rule of law, there will never be any peace in any nation. Any nation that does not exemplify these characteristics, there's never going to be peace. Do you see peace between Russia and Ukraine now? They are slotting it out. Do you see peace between the Palestinians and the Israelites now? No. They are not the same. And I'm telling you, with my full chest, we can love everybody, but we can't be with everybody. And I can see that. Some Yorubas have amalgamated themselves with Fulanis. When we eventually separate and go our separate ways, you know there will be trouble. The Fulani will say, I want my children. The Yoruba woman will say, I want to keep my children. There's going to be war. We all have that problem, oh. Because even in my own family, we have married into just play too. It is going to be a problem. We have married into Igbo. There's going to be a problem. That is why God told Solomon, do not marry into these tribes because you are not the same. I don't care what you all say. We can manage. Manage what? Unrest, wanton killings, manage hunger, manage lack and poverty, abject poverty, manage unrest, manage insecurities, and manage failure. That is what is going on in our space. Failure in every institutions in that country. Is it the education institution that is working? It was once working for the Yorubas and the Igbos. Is it working now? Are there schools where lecturers are ready to teach, to inspire, to motivate, or where they are ready to beg every virgin in the classroom? Where professors are actually demanding money and sex from students before they give them their rightful marks. Is that a country? And when they do it, nobody brings them to book. Or is it a country where a young boy of 14 or 17 allegedly stole a fowl, and instead of asking his parents to pay 2 times, 3 times for it, send the boy on 30 days probation, cleaning the street, either in prison for 30 days to clean. They sentence him to death. They sentence a 17-year-old with a stolen fowl to death in Nigeria. Is that a country? Does the punishment fit the crime? And the so-called boy at 17 did not leave prison until he was 31 years old. He spent 14 years waiting for the death row. But fortunately, because grace found him, because his destiny was not supposed to be dead. He was released after 14 years. A young boy of 17. Whereas we have the likes of Yaya Bello. We have the likes of Edu. We have Akpabio stealing over 1 trillion allegedly. We have Wike. We have Amechi collecting 4 million or 4 billion for training his people. He's not even a professor. I don't know about his wife. Squandering our money, stealing our money, laundering our money. And you call that a nation, a country, or a whole pack full of wolves and thieves and rogues and murderers. I'll repeat it. Is Nigeria a country or a hell-hole comprising of wolves, hyenas, thieves, rogues, murderers, bandits, and terrorists? In simple language, that's the way I would describe Nigeria now. And now we have our so-called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu riding on the crest of the waves, becoming a colossus. That man is evil. I know people will say, why are you talking like that? I'm talking like that because I know what I see. And there are evidences. Ask your President Bola Tinubu where he allegedly has 17 oil wells as a Nigerian. Does the oil well come from Yoruba land? Is he getting it from Osun State? Is he getting it from Ogun, Ondo, or Ekiti? He's using power to steal other people's wealth. He has allegedly a refinery in Malta. Malta is probably in Spain. I don't even know. But out of all this stealing, I haven't seen him being bold. After all, he sold Lagos land to Dangote, and Dangote was big and proud to say that he has a refinery or whatever he calls it. Does our so-called President Bola Tinubu has the audacity, the temerity to bring out his full chest and say, yes, I own 17 oil wells, I'm paying for it, I have a refinery. He kept stealing. As he stole, so were his cohorts, his adversaries, his adherents, his agents, his sympathizers, his supporters, his lackeys, his ass-kissers. As he stole, so they steal. My fellow Nigerians, there can never be any peace. Oh. You're all lying to yourself. Thank God I'm not lying to myself. There will not be peace in that country until every one of us, every extraction, the Igbos, the Yoruba, the Akwa Ibom, the Edo or Bini, the Hausa, and the Marudas called Fulani, go to their tent. That's why they say, to thy tent, O Israel. Let our Nigerians go to our ancestral land and bear our rightful names. There is no Nigeria. Oh. Nigeria is a conglomerate of nations, of extractions, embedded, encapsulated, amalgamated by manipulation through the neo-colonialists. But even after that, do we not have enough common sense? I thought they said we are very educated. Or is it miseducation? Are we morons? Are we imbeciles? Are we non-entities that we cannot decipher right from wrong, good from evil? And we kept plodding around, moving backwards, several steps backwards. Nigeria is not thriving. Nigeria is not progressing. Nigeria is not peaceful. Nigeria is not succeeding. Individuals may be succeeding here and there or overseas. And in the last 40-something years I've been in America, I haven't seen a dozen Fulanis. A dozen Fulanis in America struggling like the Yorubas and Igbos are struggling to get a good education. But they are reaping from where they do not sow. And all of you, Yoruba Igbo politicians, Eganukale, gaping, looking, admiring like impotent observers. You are all gaping, looking, observing the madness going on in that space as if you have all lost your balls. And you understand what I mean by that? Like you are impotent. If you're a real man, and I mean that in all nuances, if you're a real man, you will fight, you will stand, you will talk bodaciously and claim what is yours. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., at 39, he died for his people. Most of you so-called leaders in Nigeria, you are over 50 and you still do not want to stand and speak. You are cowards. Blatant cowards. To speak, you are afraid to lose your business, to use your bank account, to lose your life. So bloody what? You will die one day. All of us has an appointment with death. We just don't know the date or the hour, but we will die. All of us. And if you don't believe so, bring out your father, your mother, and then bring out your grandparents and your great-grandparents, and let me see how many of them are still alive today. We all die. Methuselah was 969 years old. He died. So that goes to show you that no matter how long you spend on this earth, you are still going to die. But if you die for the sake of truth, your name will be immortalized. We are still remembering late Obafemi Awolowo. He was not a perfect man, but he was a man that left an indelible mark, if not in Nigeria, on the hearts and soul of the Yoruba people. A lot may hate him. A lot may disparage him. But but many will not discount the legacy, the heritage left behind. My people, I don't know whether you are still with me. Nigeria will not have peace until we all go our separate ways. Oh. God himself has said that he has divided that country. But Tinubu, a wicked... Tinubu is even worse than Adolf Hitler. At least, Adolf Hitler, he marked a particular nation. He doesn't like the Hebrew. He didn't like the Hebrew people, the Israelites. Tinubu is killing everybody. If you're an Igbo, you are against him, you go down. If you're a Yoruba, you go down. You are for Akwa Ibom, you are against him, he promotes you. The only people he wouldn't dare, they have not born the father of his grandfather is his Fulani. The one that issues orders for him. He's afraid of the Fulanis. Tinubu does their biddings. Tinubu is a bastard. Authentic, 100% bastard. He's a bastard. He is ready to sacrifice every Yoruba that is against him for the Fulanis. He is ready to write off any institution to be the president for another 4 years or 6 years or second term or whatever he calls it. But it's not going to last, so you're only going to be there when God says he wants you there. My people, the time has come and the time is now. When you and I are to raise our voice, I'm not just speaking woto. I'm not here to be validated by anybody. God put these words in my mouth. And I said, it's my shield and my buckler. It's my horn of salvation. It's not my time to die. I will not die. I'm going to live to testify to the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. If I was to die, it would have happened as far back as April, year 2000, 25 years ago. But God says, it is not my time. So you adherents, cohorts, lackeys, ass-kissers, sympathizers, agents of the president of so-called Nigeria, and all the marabouts that are planning, plotting to pull me down. I say, foul, it's not going to happen. Do you know why I know it's not going to happen? Because my Bible tells me so. In Isaiah 54, verse 15, the Bible says, surely they will gather together. In other words, God already knew you would gather against the people speaking the truth to power. But God says, when they gather together, it is not by him. He has no hand in it. He didn't permit it. And everyone that gathered together because of me and other truth speakers, they are going to die for our sake. In other words, gather yourself together. I don't think you are up to 185,000. That you don't like the truth. And if you are more than that, there are legions of angels that will pummel you to the ground. By the same strand, the same Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, no weapon, no weapon fashioned, designed, arranged against me, among me, will prosper. It will not be established. It will not alight. It will go back to who? The sender, the originator. Because of what? I'm the servant of God. The righteousness of Christ. The apple of God's eye. And any enchantment, any incantations against me will stick to the roof of your mouth. It will not alight. I condemn it in totality with the blood of Jesus. I will not die. Your enchantments and incantations will come nothing. It will not take effect. I have cancelled it with the blood of Jesus. And if you're still standing there thinking that, oh, it's going to happen next year, I'm asking the fire of the Holy Ghost to come down. Even if you're in your plane, it will burn you to ashes. That is the power of God that I rely on. That is it, y'all. My fellow Yoruba people, my fellow Igbo people, my fellow Akwa Ibom. My fellow Hausa people, awake, arise, and demand to go to your ancestral land and bear your father's name, Hausa. You are not Nigerians. Yes. The greedy, wicked neo-colonialist Britain has forcefully, manipulatively joined us together. But I think we are strong enough, except some of us are cowards, to tell ourselves the truth that we are not the same. Yes, I have Igbo friends. I have one or two Hausa or Fulani. I don't even know which one they are now. But to be honest with you, I recognize that we may like each other. We are not the same, except we are lying to one another. My culture, my tradition is quite different from that of an Hausa, a Fulani, and an Igbo person. And I respect their culture. I respect their tradition. I may not agree with it, but I respect it because it's germane to them. I'm not being forced to do it. But under Nigeria, where we are amalgamated to tolerate all this nonsense, this genocide going on in our space, and one extraction killing the Yorubas, and you expect us to keep quiet. I said, no. No, it's not going to keep on going like that. It's not. We are not going to accept it. We are not going to take it. We are not going to buy it. And we are telling you, President Bola Ahmed Adekunle Omolodo Ode, or whatever you call yourself, we are going to separate, whether you like it or not. Even whether the devil likes it or not, the Yorubas will have their nation. And we're not going to go back. We're not going to relent. And we're not going to surrender. So, my other lovely extractions, if you agree with me, you know what to do. Start clamoring, shouting, talking, taking steps strategically. And do not be afraid. Because when you are afraid, you will never know what will happen on the other side. Take the bull by the horn and let's act. If you don't want to act together as a collaborative ethnic groups, then act as an extraction, as a nation of your own, and get the hell out of amalgamated Nigeria. My people, I wanted to say this in English so that other extractions besides the Yoruba will hear this. And I'll be glad if I can see action and reactions from all of you. Give me your comments and let me know what you think about this message. I thank you. I say long live the extractions in Nigeria, embedded under the manipulative hamstring, coerced, intimidated, Nigerians. But we are going to be free. If the Israelites are free from the Egyptians, every extractions in Nigeria will be free. All of us will be free. But we have to be determined. We have to be convinced that what is happening in Nigerian space, is not what a country should be. That's like a zoo, a jungle, and nobody can live in a jungle with peace. So I leave you with the peace of God, the peace that passeth all human understanding. So have a blessed day today. I'm yours and yours truly, a Yoruba woman, a grandmother, Dr. Momilawa. You all have a blessed day today, and God bless you all. Bye-bye for listening. I appreciate you all. Bye.